I recently got to listen to the PS Audio PMG signature line stage preamp in my system. Keep watching for my listening impressions. Late last year, PS Audio released an incredible new line of electronics called the PMG line, and that's named after Paul McGowan. And I recently had a chance to bring that preamp into my listening room and do some extensive listening to it over several weeks with my system, which includes the Prodigio WR1 and PS Audio's BHK 300 hybrid monoblock amplifiers. And I can say so far that this preamp is just incredible. It has the lowest noise floor and the widest bandwidth really of anything that I've ever heard. And it also displays a dimensionality and a depth and a height of imaging that is just really addictive. The PMG preamp is a bit of a bare bones issue because there's no large volume control on it. You do everything via a touch screen and a remote. And so it's really all about the sound quality, not about the ergonomics or the use or the dial feel or anything like that. And the PMG has some really interesting architecture in that it has what's called diamond buffers. And I don't understand it exactly, but it has no feedback in that section. And they have a power supply that's supposedly an active power supply. And the way Paul McGowan describes it, which he does a much better job than I do, but you're actually hearing the power supply mostly, and just the audio signal is modulating that power supply. So by having an extremely clean and active power supply, you're just getting overall better sound, and that's really what I'm hearing in the system. It doesn't have like a solid state sound to it. It doesn't have like a tube sound to it. It almost seems like an animal all its own. Pianos just have a lovely tone to them. They don't like bloom. They just sound extremely accurate. People talk about the concept of straight wire with gain, meaning that the component has no sound of its own. It's just like a straight wire that amplifies the signal and doesn't change it at all. But hearing my PS Audio DAC, which is the DS Mark II with some very special APS transformers, hearing that directly into the BHK 300 amplifiers, I mean, it sounds good, but going through this preamp, I think does something very, very special to the signal. It's greater than the sum of its parts. It's not just a straight wire with gain, because otherwise it would sound very similar to the way that the DAC itself sounds with the built-in volume control. Maybe a little bit better because you're not padding down the signal at all inside the DAC. But this does something very special to the signal in terms of amplifying it in a very high-speed design that's extremely fast, using a different type of capacitor that PS Audio talks about. And of course, the volume controls are shunting some of the signal to ground. I mean, they're putting resistance in the signal, and that's how they're padding down the volume so you can get the exact volume that you want. And I think that this PMG preamplifier is doing this in just a very special, very unique way because, again, it's hard to describe. It's not just a straight wire with gain. It's not just amplifying the signal up to the level that it needs to for the amplifiers. It is doing something very special, the way it conditions the signal and then knocks down the current so that it has the requested amount of output volume that you need. I think it's a great price point. I mean, even though it probably is more expensive than the PS Audio electronics of the past, they're really playing in the league of ultra high electronics. But because of the economy of scale, PS Audio, they just build and sell a lot more electronics than the other companies. They have the casework just standardized between their different lines, so you're not paying a tremendous amount of money for an individual case. And this preamp worked extremely well with not only the hybrid amplifiers, the BHK 300s that I currently use, but they also worked extremely well with the LTA Century tube amplifiers that I've been testing out. And it's just a great synergy, and I think that this preamp is pretty special. Thanks for watching.